former Senator Bongbong Marcos, only son of the late dictator Ferdinand Marcos, wants to become president of the Philippines. In an interview with London-based Financial Times, the former senator says he is considering returning to Malacanang. My career is politics, and of course, you aspire to as high a stature within your chosen field as you can achieve, and that would be president in my case. But it is not something that I wake up in the morning and plan on. In the article, Marcos says he eyes a more egalitarian system of government. In my father's administration, I kept hearing nation building, and I do not hear that phrase anymore. It's more politicking than nation building. His father's 21-year rule was marred by corruption, killings, torture, disappearances, and media oppression. While Marcos was only 15 when martial law was declared in 1972, he was already an adult when his father was toppled due to the 1986 People Power Revolution. Years later, Marcos ran but was defeated in the 2016 vice presidential election, losing to Vice President Leni Robredo by just 263,473 votes. He then accused Robredo and the Liberal Party of cheating in the polls and filed an electoral protest against the vice president. Last December, Marcos ranked 7 to 8 in the senatorial survey of the social weather stations. But he said he will not be running for senator because he believes he had won the vice presidency. The Supreme Court, acting as a presidential electoral tribunal, is currently recounting votes in the 3 pilot provinces Marcos picked for the electoral protest. There will be no term extension for President Rodrigo Duterte and Vice President Leni Robredo under a draft constitution of Malacanang's Consultative Committee, or CONCOM. CONCOM Chairman Renato Puno announces this will be stated specifically in the transitory provisions finalized by the committee. The proposed provisions also state that the first elections under the new federal constitution will be held without postponement on the second Monday of May 2022. The CONCOM wants the transition period from the 1987 Constitution to the new charter to end on June 30, 2022. In the CONCOM's draft charter, Duterte will head the Transition Commission, which will be composed of 10 members. The members must be of proven probity, integrity, independence, and must be experts in economy, law, fiscal management, governance, or development. The Commission will be tasked to formulate and adopt a transition plan for the new system of government. It has the power to issue orders, decrees, and proclamations for the implementation of the plan. Quezon City Police say a congested jail cell likely led to the death of a man arrested in the government's crackdown on loiterers or tambays. In a statement, QCPD Director Joselito Esquivel denies allegations of foul play in the death of Genesis Tisoy Argoncillo. He was arrested after allegedly causing alarm and scandal in their Novaliches neighborhood on June 15. Argoncillo was brought to the Quezon City Police District Station 4, where he underwent inquest proceedings on June 16. Police say that 3 days later, on June 19, Argoncillo was rushed to the Novaliches District Hospital after he complained of difficulty breathing. He died the same day. The Argoncillo family tells a different story. Argoncillo was arrested for simply being out on the streets, then was beaten to death while under police custody. Argoncillo's sister says in a Facebook post, "What did you do to my brother? His body and mouth are covered in bruises, even though he's not a criminal. You belittle my brother. I wish that you, the police, do your job correctly and stand by your oath to serve and protect. But why did this happen?" Esquivel denies that Argoncillo was beaten to death. He says the doctor who pronounced Argoncillo dead certifies that there were no signs of external injuries. The QCPD Station 4 has a jail cell built to hold only 6 people, but currently houses 138 detainees. Based on the figures from Esquivel, QCPD Station 4 jail was over-congested by 2,200%. President Rodrigo Duterte signs the landmark mental health law that seeks to provide affordable and accessible mental health services for Filipinos. Senator Risa Hontiveros says the signing of Republic Act 11036 would set the path for the government's policy in integrating mental health care in the country's public healthcare system. She says Help is finally here. The mental health law cements the government's commitment to a more holistic approach to healthcare. Without sound mental health, there can be no genuine physical health. Aside from Ontiveros, Senate President Vicente Soto III, Senators Loren Legarda, Antonio Trillanes IV, Paolo Benigno Aquino IV, Juan Edgardo Angara, and Joel Villanueva also authored the measure. The law would secure the rights and welfare of persons with mental health needs, provide mental health services down to the barangays, integrate psychiatric, psychosocial, and neurologic services in regional, provincial, and tertiary hospitals, improve mental health care facilities, and promote mental health education in schools and workplaces. Following the signing of the law, Senator Angara renews his call to PhilHealth to extend its coverage to mental health treatment. The Department of Health reports that 1 in 5 Filipino adults has some form of mental illness, topped by schizophrenia, depression, and anxiety. In 2012, the World Health Organization reported that there were 2,558 cases of Filipinos who died by suicide, or an average of 7 cases per day. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announces Canada will become the first G7 country to legalize the consumption and cultivation of cannabis starting October 17. Both houses of parliament vote to legalize the drug for recreational use, making Canada the second country worldwide to do so after Uruguay. Cannabis has been banned in Canada since 1923, with therapeutic uses legalized in 2001. Under the new legislation, adults, depending on the province or territory, can legally buy, grow, and consume cannabis in limited amounts. Each Canadian household will be allowed to grow up to 4 plants at home, and one person may carry up to 30 grams of the drug in public. Health Minister Jeanette Petitpas-Taylor says she was so proud of the move. She tweets, "This historic legislation will end prohibition and replace it with a sensible, responsible, and equitable cannabis policy." Public Safety Minister Ralph Goodale warns that driving while under the influence of cannabis or other drugs, or taking cannabis into or out of Canada, will remain illegal. He adds, "Drug-impaired driving is extremely dangerous and can ruin your life in a heartbeat. Don't drive high."